morning, my people. How are you today? Little Monday. What have you planned for the week, and how far are you with your goals for this year? But today is a Monday. It seems like it's going to rain sometime to come. But overall, it doesn't look like it's a bad day. Iyo nuwa esai iringa biringa kuminena iyo jolaba iyo esai valvematic. Good morning, Chigozi Stanley Muyombia, Mark Murad K Momo VIP, Mugalasi Joshua Mixed Farm, Tusime Eddie, Bashir Mukarazi Triple M, Andrew 256B, J Sekaja, Heath Moses. A small prayer to the Almighty for bringing us alive and healthy today, and to open doors for opportunities for the week. Thank you very much, Sekaja. Esara Mujiwulide, Bridget Kakai. The head teacher is late for the hybrid and electric physics class. Not who said that. But member ba FTC People's Party mwasuze mutia mulabandoze ebintu bye tulina okukola emmoroka ntono nnyo piki nnyingi nnyo kitulina okukirwanako nga twakayingira mu office omwaka ogusookera ddala. Ntale Samuel, good morning, travel live vlog. Patrick, your farm, poultry farm or your paddy. Bashir agamba Arthur, can ATM card for Stanbic? Yes, it can. Bakama baffe mbawulira bagenda mu defensive driving. We are the real defensive drivers. You defend yourself from borders, you defend yourself from taxis, and before you know it, someone from the government is there making noise. Stanley agamba mbuno the electric van genatadeyo kibulamu according to Ugandan standards. I find that it's actually okay. It's okay. But that's why I'm giving my comparison today of the hybrid and electric to Gatem, and then later I'll do a video comparing hybrid, electric, and naturally aspirated engine. Obaje tujoga memoroke ya mafuta. Italy amasanyaze, Italy hybrid. The other was serious, calling people bugorobi. I mean mjonajona tupasobola kujikola. Juko Nicholas, Nathan, Antonio, Random Things VIP, kansubire muli bulungi bantu bange. Leero ngenda kubakola because I've done the hybrid vehicle. I did the Prius, which is like the epitome of hybrid vehicles. I did now the electric. I also did an electric review sometime before the van. Footage na nabula. So today, as of today, we would have 2 electric vehicles on the channel na ye. Footage wakali abula lo tuyo tumotoka to aba China chemanyi mwatu labiko ku TikTok. We actually went and did a review of that car thing also, like a small vehicle, but footage yabula, and I think my team hasn't been able to get to those people again. Yeah, even to movie money ebisere bisinga, especially when you tell people sigenda kubaranga, it's quite hard. And I can tell you that there are things that I put in videos where the owner would not actually want those things put in there. For example, there are things I said in the electric vehicle whereby if the owner of the vehicle who had the power to make me edit that video, they would actually make me edit the video. And of course, there are things I put out that would make things a little bit worse. So the people that edit try to make it a little bit friendly. But anyway, I'm going to try and be as honest as possible. What car I think should be the one of choice. But the electric vehicle is very good. I've seen Dongfeng cars somewhere working well. Yes, they are working very well. They akakamaro kateka ina amani. You would not, me as a person that drove it, I can tell you that it has a lot of power. The people that sat in that car as I was stepping on it, video, you don't even think it's fast. That thing is fast. It has a lot of power. Which take it. They were petrol, and now these are electric. Yeah. Kansubire muri bulungi bantu bange. Leero Monday twogera ku hybrid versus electric. Didn't know a Vista ya saloon, that's the saloon version of the Vista Adele. Katnayo na yebera mu engine yemu eri ZZ ya Primo new model. Of course waliwo eziri mu 3S. But bobo ogulanga Vista wana nnyo ogule Vista erimu engine ya VVTi. That car is actually very comfortable. It doesn't look as pleasant as the estate version. Over joins it a hatchback, but it's also very, very good. Now, even the way the back is designed, doesn't look so pleasant. But bobanga sente zo ina ziguleye motoka ateka toba weronderachi. Endala iri estate ojirabye on the right, that's the estate version. So people would prefer the other one. But if this one is affordable to you, what about weronderachi? Ogula buguzeyo. After the recent review you made of the electric car, that brand is driven here as taxi. Now the car is expensive here. Where? I don't know to gamba where. Good morning, Derek Lule. It's also expensive here because it's 120 million. 120 million is actually high. Chechi badde wano ngaluka kajama akakutte. What have happened? After God eat the body, waloka jama akali walokesi nategeera bakava kuchi. So that car kaina amaanyi nayenga electric cars bamakanika anti kati electric car togikanikira buli wamu. If you see how the electric motorcycles are, nga batteries zazo ziri mu kifo kimu. So even the electric cars will have their own place where you have to find their technicians, because an electric car, what are you going to be fixing? Bushes, shock absorbers. What are you going to be fixing with the electric car? All the things you're going to be, you will want to fix. I can buy 4 chikegis at 100 and Nathan. Katuje. 120 million is much. You buy 3 chikegis at 40 million each. Ah. So kuyingiramu nga ngenda maaso g'emmotoka 10 ezikuli maaso ate omuzungu ali eri avuga kipenzi nzizo muyingiramu annemesa kati kangende eno maaso gaba muli maaso. Waliwo gwe bakubye ebyuma naye baleka bamututte naye nga babaddewo gwe bakubye ebyuma sitegedde ani olugambo nsanze luwedde naye waliwo gwe bakubye ebyuma kikigegeri gye mulabye ye mukubye ebyuma. Now for the people that have 18, 17, that's the field that you're going to be buying. If you want a field and you have 17, 18 million shillings, that's the field that you're going to be buying. I tell your field already efuwa ya kaka nekati yo ogira mbwa USD wa ya million nga 17 iyo jola bao. I don't know why those cars are highly priced. I don't think they should be highly priced. Na munangi mwazi wanika nga mwawanika Spacio, mwawanika Alex, yeah, mwawanika Alex, but that's the field that you get at 18, 19, 17. If you want the other fielder, you probably start at 22, 23, 24. 25 should be safe. 25 should be safe because now it's at 35. I told you the story of when we almost bought a fielder from the bond at 29 million shillings. Guy nagana nagule yasatu mwesatu kuba yali agala moroke efulumirawo eri yayita eriko namba ng'efulumanga ku Monday. Guy said, I'm going with my car back to the village. He went back. After I lost my friend in an accident on the weekend, now I fear driving. What happened? Tell us the story. Travel Live vlog. Tell us the story. What happened? There must have been a cause. You know, we need to learn to do diagnosis. We need to learn to do diagnosis. Of course, it's scary. Like Ugandan roads are really scary. Like you can literally not be safe, fully safe. You can be driving very, very okay the way I'm driving, and then that fielder guy cuts in front of you. Nasibarumu, right? There are so many things that could happen on Ugandan roads that will make you unsafe. But we can't stop because you have to move. I happen to believe that I'm safer driving myself than with someone else driving me. You get. So today I'm comparing the hybrid. You remember, the hybrid is a kind of is a vehicle that has batteries as well. It has a charging system. It uses petrol as well as electricity, but it generates its own electricity. A hybrid has a motor, just the way you saw that. Whatever anga motor you want to be motor ke chigegenje nakozeko. Yesterday jaina motor ku D5 mabega. So the hybrid has motors as well. The hybrid has a motor as well. It has an electric system and it has batteries. The difference between the hybrid, network is also never but then the difference between the electric vehicle and the hybrid vehicle is that the hybrid vehicle self-charges. It charges its own batteries. You don't need to. Of course, there are some plug-in hybrids when Uganda Sinajiraba where it's hybrid, but you can also plug it in and charge it. But the hybrid, the normal hybrid, was meant to charge itself. Charging. Now, yesterday with electric vehicle, I saw a comment that said Arthur's energy distracts you from the lack of depth. What most people call the lack of depth is me ignoring the information that doesn't help us as Ugandans. There is information I ignore intentionally. When my team writes scripts for me, there are things that they put in those scripts But some of these things are things that I know that you guys don't need. That even if I said those things, which take it, because these things are written, they are there. I do conversions. I'll give you an example. I did a conversion of the torque. Okay, I did a conversion of the horsepower of that electric Chigege. We did it on Friday, right? I did a conversion before I even sat in that car, and I knew what it was. Let me tell you something. The very people that have that car had two flyers. One flyer said the car was 80 kilowatts. Another flyer said the car was 40 kilowatts. The flyer was given to me by the same person. The two flyers. The first time the person gave me the flyer, it said it had 80 kilowatts. Do you know what that 80 kilowatts means? It means the car gives you more power than the Chigege. That's why you see in the video, that's before I saw the second flyer. In the video, I say the car gives you the same power as a Chigege. If you saw the video, if you haven't seen it, go back and see it. Now, the same person sends me a flyer later, which tells me the car now is 40 kilowatts. You get what I'm saying? That's why there's someone that asked me, why you get the kuchoku charging you get a unit kaze charging, and then according to my knowledge, if a car is 80 kilowatts, it's supposed to charge, it will use about 80 units, okay? Because every kilowatt is a unit of your car. So ideally, if a car is 80 kilowatts, it will take 80 units of your car, according to my conversion. Then I talk. When I was driving, you saw I asked someone in the back, what charging a unit Zayaka, and he told me 40. You did not hear that because the microphone I have is advanced. So he says 40, and that's why I left it there, because the answer he was giving me and my conversions were not tallying up. Which take it, right? So if he says he used 40 kilowatts, either the car was 50%, okay, or the car is actually 40 kilowatts, which will take 40 units of your car. Those are the conversions I had. Now sometimes now, for example, with the I find there is another car that we did, a small one, the footage where that one, I think the person there knew a little bit about the car, but you'll be surprised how many people actually will sell you things in Uganda and they have no idea what the things do, what they mean, what the implication is if you handle the things a certain way. You'll be surprised, but that's no problem. Now, in terms of what the things I tend to ignore certain things because they are not useful to us. Fengaba na Uganda, some of these things are not really useful to us. I'll give you an example. We normally talk about the cars we should not be buying here, right? And I told you a story of someone I know that started with the Nissan X-Trail. The Nissan X-Trail died. The person bought a Pajero GDI. The Pajero GDI died. He bought a Raum old model. Kati, omuntu aguleze mboroka satunga zedilingana ziti. Clearly, they don't care what happens. They're out to buy cheap cars. Because when you think about the Nissan X-Trail, it's one of the cheapest SUVs out there. After the Nissan X-Trail, the Pajero GDI will be the next car that nobody wants to buy. So you buy it because it's available and it's priced at a price that is lower than the RAV4, lower than the Kaundo, lower than the Kluger, or lower than all the cars that are recommended. So people still go buy them. But two kange zemoroka zo bibili zifude zitu de wakoba zitu de mu garage. Na agamba kati nyawo milioni 10 ngulechi. Nyamunga karawumu kaliwano kaliko UBA yango kagule kapya kakadde kafafa na ene dabe kaba kana mukaba katambula. But what happens is, as they are working on the Pajero, the Raum is on the road. So when the Raum dies, the Pajero actually has to come out of the garage, whether ready or not. So the people continue buying those things either way. Now there are things that don't affect us on Ugandan roads. I'll give you an example. Ugandans don't buy horsepower, because even if you had 300 horsepower, there's a BMW I saw a kid reviewing that has about 300 horsepower. Where are you going to put those horses on the Ugandan roads? So it will not help. The only people that need a car that has a very high torque are people that tow stuff, are people that probably carry a lot of stuff. Katingo watch getagimoroke ina torque ya amanyi. A person walori getagimoroke ina torque ya amanyi. Okitegeera nti people that are going to be doing heavy lifting. Majority of you guys don't even do any heavy lifting. Which take it. But so when you think that I'm probably not giving you the depth, it's because you don't need the depth. So when I talk about the electric car and I tell you it's powerful, it's as powerful as that's what you which take it. I find that at that moment chitumara because bwena kugamba nti emmoloka ina amaanyi iringa nowa valvematic kati kugenda kupima omanye nti nowa valvematic ina because bwena kugamba nti emmoloka eyo ina 117 horsepower emmoloka kyendala ina 117 horsepower gwe gyomanyi wekirabye ebiseera ebimu kiba tekigata. That's why sometimes I just ignore some of those figures nenzirekayo. Like I had the conversions, I really had them, and then I thought to myself, now this person is telling me the car charged with 40, because they charge you 40,000 to charge that electric car at their electric charging points. They have charging points that are 3-phase. Now at a 3-phase charging point, a banga fast charger, you guys know what fast chargers do. A charging a simuyo mango. So those electric cars ku charging points eba ina walwe ku arena mall and all those charging points. The charging amount kati moroka bo take a charging point at 3-phase. It will charge the car in 40 minutes. You pay 40,000 shillings. Yeah? Kati. But I'm trying to do a comparison between Suzuki Ertiga. I think the Rumion refused to move, and they brought the Suzuki Ertiga. Most electric cars look ugly to me, like the other Tesla. Guys, this car looks nice. The van looks nice, actually. The van looks nice. The van looks nice. Good morning, friends. Man, Arthur, NOBB, a friend I sold the Lexus to, didn't transfer it at Yatomedo border badly and drove off. The number plate fell off and the car is in my names. As long as you have the agreement that you sold it to that person, babana akuita ku police, gendo bagambe moroka yo najitunda, just so you know buy ambako to find the person. We know buy ambako to find the person that owns that car now. Which take it. Otherwise, if you don't, you're going to have to go to court and all those things. So, guys, whenever you sell a car to someone, make sure that you can transfer that car to them. Charge Jova. That's why in Bagabama temuora motoka. Mutu akwe sente zo zigwe at least go freeze mtwara abiro transferring motoka dem manyage. Paul Sema VIP, good morning. Derek Lulay, good morning. Arthur, okay. I can buy 4 chikenges. Arthur, okay. I saw the Chinese investors for small cars, Nganyize, on TikTok. Most of the followers were asking him why him to drive Vanguard. Yeah. And actually I was talking to the manager of that. I think they are partners. The Ugandan guy partnered with the Chinese guy. And they were telling me, he was still telling me the story of we compare the Vanguard and this car. Like, how do you compare a Vanguard with that car? You should be comparing that car to the person. You get, because that car, small car, has the power. It's actually powerful, guys. It actually has, I think it moved from 0 to 30 in about 5 seconds. Which take it. So it has fairly good torque, fairly good horsepower. So kamoro kako sikabi. But the morokazo doesn't is a masanyaze same. I find one of the bottlenecks that we have here is the price thing. Which take it. Dongfeng cars are driven elsewhere, but when it comes to electric, we need to do the math of how expensive their car versus how much it consumes, as well as reliability of the mechanical parts. Tuja. Like it seems to be raining in some certain parts of the country. During rainy seasons, driver should be slow because tarmac is slippery, but guys like speed. I don't think that people actually like speed. Specifically for speed, like the Subaru guys, those ones bagule motoka zaabwe for performance. The Subaru guys, I find that abana abagula Golf ezo, abana abagula German cars abasinga, they buy for speed. But the people that buy Toyotas, tugula kubeera tugula kumalako na mbeera, tetugula chipower, tetugula chibuli. So anyway, we are talking about hybrid versus electric. What do you guys think? Which is the car that is worth investing in? Is it the hybrid or the electric vehicle? What do you think we should be investing in as atanfunye waka sente kange ngule hybrid or bangule electric? What do you think I should be investing in? What do you think people should be investing in? Arthur, how is the guy that got the accident? He's getting better. But of course, muchimanyo kukuruba chakuwanisa. Aleka ayinza okuvayo in like in a couple of days, a day waka. But life is not going to be normal for like a year or two. It won't. So bobovu de wo lwali longwe plan is okulinya boda, be very careful wa boda gwaba mugamba byaba kuvuga bwabatakiriza kumulagira mugambe kanveeko olinye boda endala kitegeera. He was driving from Nairobi to Uganda and got crushed by a bus in Nairobi. He was a very young man. Sorry about that. Buses omuyina okuzivira bolaba bus ng'ejiragira ng'ogiviira. Me, I know how to move out of the way. Buses and big lorries. This is one of the good-looking churches exterior. Of course, the design is not so nice, but I think it's unique. It makes it look good. Arthur, how do you deal with engine leakages? The leakages can be worked on. Just get your mechanic to buy the seals and replace them. My friend here asking whether you recommend him to get a Super Extreme or Wish at 7. If he gets it, yes, those are good cars. Lucky Mose, van that came to be stronger than Chigege cause I found a chichi. So bali abayayi comparing akamotoka akaina amaanyi ga Vitz ne baka comparing Vanguard ne bakugamba nti ka saving a cent okusinga Vanguard nga Vanguard naturally yote saving comparing emotoka ya CC Luenda kuji comparing emotoka ya CC 1224 ogambe nti emotoka saving okusinga eri 24. It's not fair. The van can never be stronger than Chigege because Chigege can carry 18 people. Like Mose, I think I want to differ a little bit from you. What makes an electric car strong is the motor. The thing that makes the car strong is the motor. If they give it a motor that generates power equivalent to the horsepower of a Chigege, it will definitely give you. That's why you find Tesla made some electric trailers. Mwaziraba. Tesla made electric trailers. You cannot come out of somewhere no gamba tesobola kusinga esobola bwebanga bagiwadde motor eina amaanyi agatuka aga Chigege ebe esobola okitegeera. And that probably brings the question of, are Ugandan traders actually honest with us? Yeah, are the Ugandan traders honest with us? Because I find that a Ugandan trader will sell something to you but nakugamba kino ekintu eryanda lya 10,000, let's say 10,000 watts. Niyo gendo kulitusanga ya watts 5. That's the problem. But I don't think that's the thing that happens with cars. Nzakamoro kakali nakavugamu Lucky Mose nakavugamu so nenka feeling akaina amaanyi. However, now the trouble comes when the supplier actually gives you two flyers, one telling you it's 40 kilowatts, then another flyer telling you it's 80 kilowatts. The one of 80 kilowatts definitely is equivalent to a Chigege. That I can tell you. But the one of 40 kilowatts, ebe says the one of 40 kilowatts, ebe singa kuku yenkanankana mune VT zawe wate ina maanyi. But I also doubt that those people will give you a car and tell you it's a 10-seater when it's not able to take 10 people. It will definitely, if people are heavy, then the battery will go very fast. If people are light, the that will go normally. Okitegeera. However, Joshua. And Joshua, I think the reason why he's considering to buy the other Noah is Noah super limo ke kano ka mugongo gwambwa. Why would you want to buy mugongo gwambwa? Your budget, you should be thinking about a wish, because Joshua, his budget tasobola kugula Noah mpya. Taina okujango ayagala ya accident nga ne yinginifu. Neta ina wagenda kukijjamu hizo sente. So kati wish yebera option. Ene wish nayo tejja kuba mpoomu nnyo. Okitegeera tejja kuba mpoomu nnyo. So guys, I'm asking you, what do you think is the worthy investment? A hybrid or an electric car? One thing we need to understand is that right now, uyo wakosa omulabye kosa yemu ku motoka nze embeera ne bwensarako sijagala wakosa ye bwetandika okukolako emikolo oyinza okujevumu wakosa mumulabye wabadde adduka ate mukosa zonna eyo sigivuga eyo temuna nti ngamba seeronda waliwo ate kosa ekulabise nnyo eyo kosa yeerabisa nnyo wakosa mumulabye seberiko n'akagambo VVTI oba ya VVTI eriko akagambo VVTI emabega ate ng'ebyo ekisusizzaamu wakosa abadde adduka emisinde. So guys, I'm asking you, what should we invest in bwema nfunye sente? Kyembadde mbagamba nti electric cars come as new right now. Ezisinga mpya sinalabayo electric car nkadde wano ate da nkimanyi URA ejjazigaana. Mulabanga bagoba nti you cannot buy used laptops in Uganda. Import, you cannot import. You should not be importing. I know people import those used laptops, but under the law, one is not allowed to import used laptops. Which tegeera. And Sereko Starch, good morning. Arthur, His Excellency Sir Antonio and all people observed, I find hybrid better option. Why? Tuwene ensonga. Nathan 256. Banange, also our village mate, died immediately. He was running a 70km speed and he found a tukutuku and he tried to dodge it. The car overturned 2 times and he's there. We are seated 4 people in a tipper. Man, ate tukutuku ezo zigenda kutta nnyo abantu. Tukutukus wogirengera bw'oti osanga eringa piki tezirina reflector kwobwo butray. And guys, bw'oba ovuga ku kkubo ery'ettaka vuga mpola, gendera ddala mpola. After yesterday's live taking the road for the first time teyawedde ate network muloza yatukkiriza network y'eggulu yabadde tetwagaliza bwagaliza. So guys, I'm asking you, hybrid versus electric, where do you think we should be putting our money? Of course, now the hybrid is about 45 to 50 million used. Chitekeza, if you were to buy a new hybrid as well, it will cost you about 100 and 120, a good one. Now, electric vehicles are coming as new. Kali akatuna akaba China kamiliyoni nkaaga. Okay? Kamiliyoni nkaaga. Then the van is 120 million shillings. Yeah? Arthur, tukulinako buzibu, buy the Suzuki or tubuliro bachiggwa. You're now a living testimony. Nah, that van looks nice, but the battery where it was placed, I don't think it's safe for Ugandan roads. Exactly, it's the same thing I thought. I think hybrid will be better. I saw the review, but the van had 0 engine sound. I love listening to engine sound. It had a sound there. You guys did not listen. Just microphone yesarako nnyo. Yes, Nathan, wabadde bukotoka tuwantuliku enejibaita Lugogo bypass. To me, my opinion is we need to take it one step at a time. A country as ours, apart from the rich, the rest of our next step should be hybrid, because electric mechanics haven't figured them out. And yaka is high. After so that small car is sold at 70 million. Bangambye nkaaga baleka wawa akasazemu. Kaizo wakaliku discount. And that's where the math doesn't math. If the hybrid will still give you the same consumption no matter the load, yet the electric battery drains so fast if given much load. Electric is better. Mixing makes it complicated. If you don't want combustion engine, just buy electric. And there I can take a hybrid because of the original shape. Electric produces a simple sound. The electric kayiramuka sound akabaddemu sound. I don't know why I didn't put the microphone there. I did that for the other small kakaliaka footage yabula. I don't know why I didn't put it here. With this car, you could actually feel if you look at the clip where I race, you could clearly feel that it's actually a car. So now, hybrid versus electric. This is what I think. You remember we did a comparison. I did a part 3 of the Prius, and I was trying to make you understand what I understand about the hybrid and its implications to us. First of all, the cost is high, and the cost of replacing parts should the parts die. That's also another thing for us to think about. The motor, of course, the motor rarely dies. That's the one thing that you guys need to know. The motor rarely dies. Normally, it's the batteries that have a problem, both for the electric and the hybrid vehicles. But the electric cars, I've not seen a lot of people complaining because the electric cars are still new. Globally, so now so the complaints are very limited. But with the hybrid, they have a lot of complaints with the batteries. Amanda got pay to buy. So now it goes for us to compare the hybrid and electric. The clear difference is here. A hybrid vehicle has an engine because, for example, the Prius has either has the 1NZ or it has there are some of those that has the 2ZR, the same engine that is in the Rumion. What was in a 2ZR ya Rumion? Ngazina ne hybrid system. So if that, for example, dies, you'll find that we just bring a Rumion engine, no jituza mu Prius omo, nova kubya hybrid, not anakapuka moroka yo normally. Okay? The electric vehicle just has an electric motor and batteries and a charging system. That's all. The electric vehicle doesn't have a gearbox. The motor does both reverse and forward. Woteka mu reverse, chovola bateina na parking. Electric vehicles have no parking. You put in neutral and then you engage the handbrake. So chitegeza, one of the things that you have to fix with the electric vehicle is to make sure that your handbrake works perfectly well. Otherwise, ogenda kwesanga ngo automate ebintu by'abantu. So the electric vehicle has no gearbox. Do you know what that means? In terms of fixing, if the motor never dies, and I'm thinking it's protected from water and all that. Nekana amanda gabade wansi mchike kujja kwesanga na gali protected from the water and all that. If it's protected from the water and the water doesn't affect those things, and the motor never dies, and the battery take you a very long time, then that means the electric vehicle would actually beat the hybrid, because the hybrid has a CVT gearbox. The CVT gearbox can die. Kati, the hybrid vehicle has an engine, it has a gearbox, it has a motor, it has batteries. It has 4 parts that can break down at any time without warning, and all those parts are expensive to replace. Yeah? The electric car has only 2 parts. The electric car has a motor and batteries. Those are the 2 things that can break down. And of which I'm thinking, since this was made as an electric car, these things are made to be a little bit durable. But the fact that the less moving parts a car has, the easier it is to maintain, the easier it is to predict what's wrong. As a matter of fact, these electric cars tewetaga kusika ignition because kama switch booting emoroka yetandika. And there are cars that are really silent, you can never even know that the motor is on. So the electric vehicle has an advantage of having less moving parts, which will keep it safe. For example, kataka akamoto ko karaba tewali nsonga lwaki ogulaka akamoto kanga ate kanywa amafuta kati akujja kasanga kanywa kyekimu ne paso ukitegeera ojja kasanga kanywa kyekimu. That's a Daihatsu, by the way, the same company that initially made the paso. The paso was this is the Daihatsu Ace. The paso was initially the Daihatsu Boon ukitegeera. Then the paso set was also initially a Daihatsu Boon something ukitegeera. But of course now this company was bought by Toyota. Kati omotoko ogumu, one thing for us to probably understand, some of the cars were made for just simply seated driving. Kati akamoto katebaka kola kuva Matuga kujja Kampala akatuli maaso. So ojja kwesanga even the electric vehicle tebaji kola kuvuga ngendo mpanvu wadde bagamba 300 kilometers, tebaji kola kutambula 300 kilometers without resting. Nga baji kola airport pickup and all that. Chobola, even as I was doing the video, I mentioned airport pickup, school van and all those things. But of course the only bottleneck we have with electric, I find that an electric car for me would do it if the purchase price was almost as almost equal to what it costs me to buy these other cars. But it can't be the same because electric vehicles cost more to make. They cannot be priced at the same price, at the same levels. I think hybrid is a better option for now, according to our Ugandan roads, and to avoid maintenance stress. However, lwaki tuva ku gas powered? Kati Antonio, definitely the hybrid will make sense for us right now, yeah? It will make sense for us right now. But if, for example, if you were to buy that electric vehicle, they give you bagambi, according to their flyer, it was 5-year warranty. Oba emitwalo 10 mileage. If the car dies before you have made 100,000 kilometers, if let's say the motor and the batteries die before you've made 100,000 kilometers, you take back and I hope they live up to their word. If you're going to buy that car, that warranty, then you would not have to worry about maintenance costs because of course what way like if someone gives you warranty, you have to pay labor. I think warranty, not guarantee, because again okuwa warranty ye aba ina guarantee on parts. Aba ina guarantee on parts. Kati yagenda kufuna parts za bwerere wa manufacturer gwe omwe sente za labor ezokusam parts, because ye sente ze zisinga zali azidya ku labor. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So warranty means you pay for labor, you don't pay for parts. For them, even them, they don't pay for parts because they have guarantee on certain parts. Chovola bane bobo guze sim bagamba, never better use the bagamba, they give you warranty, which let's say 1-year warranty. It means there are parts they know that cannot die. But if those parts died, they would also talk to their manufacturer or their supplier and they'll get those parts for free. So most of those electric vehicles will give you 3 to 5 years warranty or 100,000 kilometers. Now, it's different when you buy a car from the bone, like if you went and bought a Prius hybrid from the bone, there is no warranty, there is no guarantee, there is no nothing. Even if it dies outside the bone, from your water, it's your car, it's your problem. So, personally, what do I think? I think the electric vehicle would work. But this is what I want you to understand. Buli kilowatt ey'amaanyi emmoloka eyo gyekuwa oba eya egenda mu lyanda eryo, that's a yaka unit. Bwe bagamba nti emmoloka is 30 kilowatts, kati nga kali akaaba China, I think it's 30 kilowatts, kitegeeza unit za yaka 3. Okitegeera. And because there are no expenses of service ku oil, to oil mu engine, I'm sure you have to buy air cleaners. What you have to buy air cleaners because the system still needs air. And of course, in van ne radiator probably cool down the parts because they're going to be using a lot of power, so they're bound to overheat if you don't cool them. Yeah. And of course they have fans, the batteries have fans, and even the motor has a sort of cooling system. but you're not going to be servicing anything. So it serves, if you were to buy, for example, that van at the same price as a Noah. If you were to buy that van at the same price as the Noah, that van would make more business sense, even if you were buying it for your home. Nange Arthur, if the van was at like 40 million like the Noah is right now, it would make more sense for me to buy the electric van, because first, I'm not going to do service for the engine or gearbox. I don't expect a gearbox to die. And even if it were the same price as the hybrid, I'll definitely buy the electric, because the hybrid has extra maintenance costs that don't come with this van. The issue right now is the electric vehicles cost double the amount that it will cost you to buy the gas-powered vehicles or the hybrid vehicles. And when we get there, the people that would need to buy the electric vehicles would be people that don't have a lot of money. But Arthur, batalina sente nyingi, okwate sente eze million nsamba agule moroka eringa paso nga asobola okugula paso. I can buy 2 pasos and even keep balance. Paso emu nenjiwa omwana agivuga mukuba nampe emitwalo 25 buli week. Kati emitwalo gali 25 gabanga gabeezaawo paso eno esooka nze gyenvuga. In a way it would not make sense. Okay? But I find that if the cost was constant, if I buy a hybrid, I buy it 50 million. I buy electric, I buy it 50 million. The electric would definitely be better than the hybrid, because it doesn't have a gearbox which can die. It doesn't have an engine which can die. It only has a motor and batteries. And those two things, because they were made for electric, they will not die anytime now. And if they die, I have a warranty. Which take it up. But when we think about the cost of Yaka now, tiwemanvuge moroka etambula kilomita 3 ngenda kukozesa unit 30 bw'okigattagattamu nti Arthur wanywa emitwalo 2 ekitundu oba emitwalo 3, ya Arthur wanywa emitwalo 2 ekitundu oba 3, Arthur wanywa emitwalo 2 ekitundu oba emitwalo 3, nti ate the electric vehicle is going to take about 15,000 to 20,000 of Yaka. Yeah, it's going to take 15,000 or 20,000 of Yaka. Obo savings wanji bwemba nywe emitwalo 2 ekitundu egy'amafuta, naye nga bwenvuga emmoroka ey'amasanyalaze nywe emitwalo 1 n'ekitundu gw'amasanyalaze, nga bw'ogattamu cost wali oba savings oba bato savings. Kati awo hybrid eba ekuba nti hybrid yekyajinga ku mafuta genywa kwekuva amafuta genyini genywa gegacharginga batteries, ate bwentuuka nenva ku mafuta nensigala ku batteries. So the hybrid will definitely beat it. But we already made a comparison of the hybrid and the gas-powered or diesel-powered engines, and we realized that the diesel-powered engines or the gas-powered engines still beat the hybrid. Kati awo nze kibalekedde kidde mu kooti yammwe. Mwe mumanyi kati mmotoka kijjoba ogenda okuteekamu ssente era lwaki. Arthur tayinza kutegeerera, but this my comparisons are normally tezigenda kubeera very technical. Togenda kunsanga nga nkola very technical. Math wange ali very simple, because math ali simple gwe tukozesa bwe tuba nga twagala okumalako. I find that one of the things that disturb us as people, especially the people that the elites, abantu abasomyekwe, we complicate things. Twagala to be complicating and be complicating. Oyinza okufuna kyoyagala oba okunoonya kyoyagala paka bwe kibula n'obivaako. I remember there is a time we were going for inspection, and of course I have a list of things that I have to look at in my head. In the beginning I had a list that I used to tick off. Now I have the things in my head and I know what to compromise and what to not compromise. And then the person that we were inspecting for, yali yakola list nga agiriko nga ali rigid on the list of things that we have to check. And I told them, you know what, yes, this list is very important, but there are things that we have to compromise on or about. Why do we compromise on these things? We compromise on these things. We compromise on these things because sometimes most of the cars, especially if you're buying a used car, you're going to buy that car it's very okay for that thing to not be there because of so the sooner you understand that, the better. So some of the things we compromise, some of the things we let them go. Arthur, any updates on our two chigeges? Chigeges are okay. Chigeges are okay. Stand back, we're gonna quit chigege now. That means there are no manual electric cars. No. Manual only happens in cars that have gearboxes. Electric cars don't have gearboxes. But I heard you say that the van has a CVT gearbox. Am I right? Yes, I said it. And I was waiting for you people to tell me. Electric things don't have gearboxes. They don't. It's the motor that goes forward and backward. I said that intentionally. Arthur, nayenga the electric car is stable on the road. Kubanga, what I think it's light. Of course, Bobo waiter, you feel the impact of the turn. You feel the impact of the turn, but that's normal for any van. That impact is normal. Hybrid maintenance is high because you change oil filters, fuel pumps, water pumps, etc. Exactly. Brand new hybrid will be more expensive than electric. I think so too. Would you recommend the Toyota Fielder 2014 hybrid? Yes, I would. Nadango genavuga moroka yoto subira kujejjako and all that. Comparison inange, I would go with electric car cause even a person of wiring achimala ngate hybrid no gambling. And how far can the 30 kilowatt take you for our waliwo math? Anti-kat chigoze Stanley, a 30 kilowatt in a small car can take you for 200 kilometers. In a big car, it can't. Which tegera Edianiku Lakimoz Nelson Chobe, good evening. Ogena gula Subaru kat Chobe. Jangu. Walai njagala kujja tufune guchigege. If you tell me to inbox you nganzija. Wona beda redenze embeera wo. 15k of your car will cover more kilometers than 15k of fuel on a hybrid. In a long run, electric cars are cheaper overall than hybrid. The high purchasing cost is compensated with the low cost of maintenance. Samuel Okria, you need to think about, you probably need to, I drove the hybrid. And I can tell you that personally, Zenga Arthur, I would definitely choose the hybrid. I'll choose the hybrid because the Prius that I drove gave me 40-something kilometers per liter. For me, that's sufficient. That is sufficient. If I save any more than that, 40 kilometers per liter is sufficient enough. But those hybrid and electric cars are all good at 0 mileage according to Ugandan standards. Most people can only afford foreign used cars. Exactly. Now that's where the trouble is. It's that we are comparing used cars to new cars. I'm comparing a van that is 0 mileage and 120 million to a newer that has 100,000 kilometers at 40 million shillings. So the comparisons would definitely not be the best. Those comparisons would definitely make sense, but they don't make sense because our comparisons are not. But that's Uganda we are in. You need to make sure that it doesn't go so far away from the cost that the Ugandans are used to. Good morning, Brian. Still fearing the new technology, like how smartphones had just come, charging twice a day things. Zendaba hybrid zinabuzibu Caprius review nakagala. It's just the cost. There's a more cost. Arthur, tell people to buy fielders. Kubanga ziri good nyonyonyo. Hii fielder abantu ngabazagala chobe. Guys, ono Nelson twagula na fielder some time ago. Mubonde. Electric cars are cheap to build and manage. Dennis Mawanda, you're living a good life. Kale kamba sibule bantu bangi. Thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. Namu abali mukamoli, I don't take it for granted. Tomorrow be a pre-purchase inspection in Jikora na row. You're going to buy a car, you want to get a car that is very good for you budget-wise and quality-wise. I'm your man. I come with a mechanic and we make sure that your money gets you a good car. We charge you a small fee of 450,000 for that day. Covers Kampala Central Business District, fuel, my time, the mechanic's time. Your only job on that day is to say on jagara, si jagara. Ibiranga tubimala. Car trackers wezidi. Don't buy a car and you fail to put a tracker because rubana agitwaro judge no nyane once we moro kenda ranga teri yo. Chigoze Stanley Muyombia Mac Morad K Momo VIP Mgarasi Joshua Mix Farm to see me edit Triple M Bashir Mukarazi and 256 BJ Sekaja Heath Moses Brigey Kakai Ntale Samuel Travel Live Vlog Patrick Rio Poultry Farm Pade Chigoze Stanley Africa Carota Toddy Ronald Juko Nicholas Antonio Random Things VIP Nathan Football Tribe UG Edrin Mugerwa Musema Saddam Chairman Zach Paul Sema VIP Derek Lule Lucky Mose Kavali Moses Nsereko Starch Nathan 256 Munoza sibamazeyo bantu banga abogedde olwaleero Bruno Bakahika Grace Mark Tusubira Eddie Aniku Nelson Chove Dennis Mawanda JK of course. Hybrid is better than electric in Uganda, where the stress of charging, especially at times where power goes off some days. Idris. John's Info. The of Innocent. But me, I love hybrid, but I live in the villages. Hybrid works even in the villages. Hybrid would work. Hybrid would work everywhere. Arthur Kusienta and Ractis, which one is better? Me, I would take the Ractis. And I've driven a Sienta, I've driven a Ractis. And the one thing I can tell you is that the Ractis is definitely better. The Sienta is not bad, but the Ractis is definitely better. Guys, high population countries like Chinese are using electric because it's cheaper. And of course, they make the electric cars, so it's cheaper to buy them there. I'll see you tomorrow, Market Tuesday. May the